What's good people? Welcome back to Hope Views. My name is Corey, and today we're going to be talking about Creed 3. So over the weekend, I got a chance to look at Creed 3 on VOD. So it's been out long enough that it's on demand. I was able to pick it up, take a look at it. So because it's been out for so long, we're going to jump into a spoiler review for the movie. I'm going to give you the things that I liked and the things that I disliked. It's not much to dislike because this movie was very, very good in my personal opinion. I give the movie a 7.4 out of 10 on my little scale. You can check the description for the chapters of the video, as well as the breakdown of the scores and why I came up with the numbers that I came up with. But if we want to talk about the movie in specifics, here's what I'll say. The visuals, pace, and entertainment are great. The action is very, very good and is well paced throughout the film. But the story of this movie is very, very predictable. But I do feel like the film still rises above predictable storytelling to come out with a very good movie overall. So let's talk about it. Visually, you have the performances of Michael B. Jordan, you have the performance of Tessa Thompson, you have the performance of Jonathan Majors. That's really what carries the film. Now, I know a lot of people like to talk really, really well of Jonathan Majors, and I really like a lot of the stuff he does. If you check out some of my shorts, some of my other videos, I really enjoyed him. I always had a feeling that he would be propelled into stardom, kind of like he is at this moment. But after watching Creed 3, my thoughts are, I don't know if it was really a great performance from him or if it was marketing that kind of let us know that he would be the villain of the film. He would be the bad guy. And we watched this movie anticipating the turn. Breaking it down a little further, as I watched his performance, I was looking and it does seem like he did a very good job in portraying a person who honestly, genuinely wanted to get back into the life of Adonis, but at the same time had an ulterior motives that he did very good job of like hiding, but still at the same time kind of hinting at. Like he did a good job of walking that line. But I don't know how good of a job it really was, or was it just us as the audience anticipating, like, when is he going to flip? When is he going to show himself the bad guy? So ultimately, again, I don't know if it was just great performance or it was us anticipating the turn, but I do feel like the turn was there, like right on the cusp. He could have snapped at any moment throughout the first half of the film, or when you're seeing him reintroducing himself into Adonis and like eating with Adonis and like refusing to take the money. Each step that he was present on screen, it just felt like you feel that he's hiding his true intentions. But I don't know if that's us as the audience just knowing that he had other intentions and that things had to change at some point. So again, it's cool. It was still a good performance. I still like everybody's performances. Even Felicia Rashad did a great job as Adonis's mom in here. Everybody did a good job. And I enjoyed the visuals from the acting perspective. And speaking of the acting part of it, I must say that the drama here really stands out, even though we kind of know how everything is going to go. Me and my wife watched it on the sofa and we kind of predicted each beat, you know what I mean? So like in the initial fighting that you saw Jonathan Majors do with the Felix character, like my wife said, oh, he's gonna do something dirty. He's gonna tear him up in the sparring ring. And like we watched and we knew that stuff was gonna end up coming. As Adonis was dealing with the Leon character and the stuff from his past, like me and my wife talking, I'm like, I bet it's some type of abuse, maybe sexual abuse, maybe physical abuse, whatever it is. Something happened to him, between him and the Leon character, which is why he snapped when he saw him at the store and why this whole thing is happening the way it's happening. The arguments that they got into between Tessa Thompson's character and Michael B. Jordan's character, like we knew he's just not wanting to work through it. He's trying to hold that back, and ultimately, before the fight is fought and the day is won, you're gonna see him kind of break it down mentally, even though he has to get into the ring to do it. Like we talked about that stuff as it was happening, and we just kind of knew how things were gonna go. But with all that being said, we still feel like I'm invested. As we watched, we really felt invested when Felicia Rashad had a stroke and he was there and she was going in and out between Apollo and Adonis and who she was talking to in the moment. Like we felt that in the moment. When the arguments between Tessa Thompson and Michael B. Jordan were happening on screen, we felt the emotional weight of those characters and actually felt pretty connected to those characters, which kind of proves the Creed franchise has a lot more staying power than I initially gave it credit for. I can remember back to the first movie of Creed. I skipped it in the theaters then, and it was because it's predictable. It's a Rocky franchise film. They're going to have some conflict with someone. That conflict is going to build. The boxers are going to train, and they're going to fight, and our guy's going to win at the end. Like that is how these movies go. That is how all the Rockies have went to a certain extent. And that is how all the Creeds have went to a certain extent. So I wasn't super hype about seeing that first one. I did go see the second one in the theater, and then this third one I kind of skipped on it because just scheduling stuff. But before moving on, I don't want to understate it. I do feel like overall the drama here and the acting and all the movie in itself rose above that predictable format. Yeah, we knew that Jonathan Majors is playing the bad guy and he's gonna turn at some point and they're gonna fight at some point. Michael B. Jordan is gonna win that big fight at the end. Like, we all knew it was gonna happen that way, but it was still good enough. Acting, action, all that stuff was still good enough moving through each phase of the film. So I'm still very happy with it, even though we kind of predicted the beats. Still very good. Now, talking about the fights, you can't talk about a Creed franchise movie or a Rocky franchise movie without talking about the fights. Michael B. Jordan's approach as director here, his approach to the fight scenes is way more cerebral than you get in the other Rocky films. I felt it initially with that very first fight, like Adonis's final fight before he retired. There was a lot of talk about anime-inspired action when the movie first came out. Michael B. Jordan, confessed to being an anime fan, and there are Dragon Ball-inspired punches and inspired things that occur throughout the action in the film, in the boxing matches. There's also Jonathan Majors, who did like this controversial photo shoot where he was like dressed as an anime character, and there's a lot of anime-inspired stuff that occurs here. There was even talk, and I'm gonna try to find the article, maybe link it, maybe throw some words up on the screen right here. But Michael B. Jordan even said that at one point he thought that he would put subtitles into the fights to kind of show what the boxers were thinking as they went through things. And at least twice in that initial fight, and then towards the end, I could see where those subtitles could be placed. And I actually feel like if he had done it, it would have been weird, but it would have been an appropriate risk to be taken. That's kind of the thought that I had when I think about that interview and then after watching the movie. I thought that the fight scenes were incredibly well done. I do notice the anime-inspired action. There was one specific punch that they do a lot in Dragon Ball Z, like a gut punch, and they pause and the exaggerated eyes, like all that stuff showed up to me. There was the moment at the end of one of the rounds where Adonis, Dame, they both hit each other at the same time. Like, there's so many different animes that use that same setup. I hope I can find some and throw them up here. But it's like, yes, we feel the anime-inspired action, and I do feel like it was appropriate. I do feel like it's a very good, different take on the boxing genre of films. And specifically the fight at the end, I really feel as though when they took the audience out and put the bars up and just did all the different things they did to kind of zoom through that fight, I thought that that was incredibly risky as well as very different. And I really enjoyed it to see a departure from the traditional, we're going to show you every punch. Like Ryan Coogler, when you go back to the original Creed, Ryan Coogler directed that, and he's famous for his one take type action scenes. There was one in the original Black Panther. There was one here. I don't know if there's one in Black Panther 2. I don't remember. But he normally does those really, really well. And I like that Michael B. Jordan departed from that. And he did a cerebral take and show you what's going on in the boxer's head. What openings do they see? What mental fights are they going through when they did the flashes of each one in their youth, as opposed to each one as grown men fighting? And then the visual style, tuning out all the noise around them. All that stuff was really cool and risky and fun. And I liked it. I thought that this set this apart from the other Creeds, as well as it helps to set up Creed apart from the Rocky franchise. So I'm cool with it. I like the way it went. Very high on the action and entertainment section when you look in that description talking about the score and stuff. So wrapping things up here, even with a predictable storyline, this movie still does a great job in delivering high, tense, high quality, good drama and action as you watch it. And it's a very good movie. I put it up there as a highly recommended film because it's relatively PG-13. Like, there's nothing that's not family friendly. There's nothing that you can't just have on the background. It's very rewatchable for those reasons. It's something that most people can enjoy with, teenage and up kids. So I think it's very good. I enjoyed it. It rises above the predictable story and delivers great action. Those are the thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section. Enjoy yourself, guard your heart, and go watch something good.